Film driving. Philip drivings. So I was just on a run, did a 2 to 3 mile run at a medium pace. So normally I've been like sort of bouncing back and forth between long runs, long at a pretty slow pace, and for me that's like 7:45 to 8, and that's like 4 to 7 miles. That burns more fat. And then the other is short runs, 2 to 3 miles at 6:45 to 7:15 pace per mile, and that burns a lot of sugar. It burns fat, but it burns a lot of sugar. It makes you more toned. And for me, like I'm not much of a marathon runner. Like I did a lot of long distance training years ago, and I can do it now. But there's something about running, like the last long run I ran was 10 miles, and I was after however long, 45 minutes or something. I was just like, I want to go do something else, man. I'm like, I was like, my legs were starting to hurt a little bit. I had to take like 2 breaks to stop and drink water. And I'm like, I would love to go out and run 15-mile marathons, but I really don't like it. I really just kind of hate it. I'm like, I love 3 to 5 mile or 4 to 7 mile, 4 to even 9 mile, medium pace runs, and just crank out a good run like that. And then I really, really just am in love with like 2 to 3 mile, like booking it, really fast paced stuff. That seems to do my body really, really well, and my conditioning really, really well. And it's really amazing. And then also you don't have to compensate extra for the loss of you don't have to do so much glycogen replenishing when you just do small runs. It seems like, maybe I'm wrong. I've been drinking these. Oh, here we go. I've been drinking these. The Shake, pretty amazing. The Shake, right? It's a sports supplement by Eclipse. I think that's the company. Yep, it's pretty good. It's 49 grams of carbs, so 16% of this, and then 31 grams of protein. There's also a lot of vitamin A. Well, no, there's not. There's a little bit of vitamin C, a lot of calcium. Wow, 58% calcium. Amazing, I didn't know that. And 42% phosphorus, or 4 to 24 milligrams, 42% per serving, which is this whole thing. And a lot of potassium. Incredible. Yeah, this thing is there's a gigantic difference. I used to not do this, between going on a run when you have consumed the right amount of nutrients or the stuff that helps your body to work, and when you don't. I can go out and crank out even though I think I can still perform similar, but I'm much more worn out if I don't drink one of these and I go do a 4 mile fast pace run at 6:45 pace per mile, between 6:45 and 7:15. Then if I drink one of these or something an hour before, and then I go, and it's just like I can do the same thing, but it's just like afterwards I'm fine. I have to replenish glycogen by drinking another one or eating any number of things that in a number of good carbs and protein that put the glycogen back in your muscles and give you your fuel back. But yeah, but I protein, man. And the daily average of human protein that you're supposed to eat or consume rises when you're an athlete. If you're considered an athlete, if you do a lot of like working out or doing really intense exercise, you got to consume more protein. I noticed that for a while, interestingly. And you got to think about this. Like, I was protein deficient for like a little bit, not by much. I was probably getting them in the regular food that I was eating. Eat a ton of vegetables. I eat meat, but just good meat, grass-fed meat if I can, and as much natural, organic, like chicken and stuff as possible. But I wasn't getting enough protein. And then this was like probably a year and some change ago. Changed my entire life, getting the right amount of protein. I was just like, wow. I can't believe that I wasn't getting enough. I didn't actually measure it, I gotta measure it. Like a cup of broccoli or something is like 4.6. Each egg is, I think, 6 grams of protein. Something that's been helping me get protein more lately is yogurt. The little Chobani yogurts are 18 grams of protein, 18 to 20 grams of protein. If you do that, 2 eggs in the morning, then you got 12, 18, you just got 30 grams of protein in just that, and that's an amazing breakfast. You add a little bit of broccoli with the eggs, and then you got, 32, 34 grams, whatever it is, of protein. And that's powerful. Protein in the morning is just amazing, incredible. It's everything. And for runs. Last thing, before we stop film driving, I'm not even driving, I just parked, I think everybody should run. I think everybody should run. Running is really critically important. It's been everything for me, for brain function. There's a lot of neurotrophic factor stimulated from running. It's a protein in the brain that helps the brain function. You get sculpted, and you look like runners. When you could tell a runner when you look like a badass Indian. That's what runners look like. Runners look like badass Indians. big, strong, sculpted thighs, sculpted everything else. You're not like muscle heads, you know? Or like, I gotta walk like this or something. You walk like that, you know? But you're sculpted, and runners tend to just move faster and better. Like, because in the wintertime, it's not hard to run, but it certainly is uncomfortable unless you have, like, cold weather gear, to run. But even me, like, I have enough cold weather gear, and I've trained to run in, it's below zero weather and 130 degree weather. But it still sucks. So I still don't like doing it. So, like, I still, like, will put off running or something when it's freezing cold. I'm like, should I go run? No. I'm just going to go, like, do another cardio workout some other way. But everybody should run. And in spring and summer and fall, you can run all year except for the winter and just run, like, minimally in the winter. I run once or twice a week in the winter. And the other times, like, 3 to 4 days, 3 to 5 days you should run. And I can't tell you, how much in confidence, in brain function, in sculpting, in health. My God. I mean, yeah, there's, consuming the right things and sleeping well, etc. But when everybody else is sick, like, I'm not sick, And I think running has a lot to do with that. But you get to look like a badass Indian. You get those big thighs. Think about how Indians look, right? Indians. Real badass Indians. They're just, like, sculpted, right? And they can run forever. And, like, you don't want to get, like, a boxing match with an Indian because, he's just going to out-cardio you. It's amazing! Film driving, film parking. But, yeah, running's great. Running's amazing. And if you don't do it, it looks something, like, insurmountable. But you can train the function of your body to be able to operate, well with running. You just have to sort of gradually work your way up. Do a mile. Get good at a mile. Don't have any expectations about pace or how long it's going to take you. Just do a mile. Get really good at that. And then do 2. And then get really good at that. Get comfortable with it. No rush. And then do 3, 4, 5. And maybe end there. I mean, my runs are generally 3 to 5 miles. That's it. I do longer runs sometimes, but I don't really like to. Anyhow. Film driving.